towards Australia. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply some foundation using the NYX Total Cover Drops. Blending that out with a beauty sponge. Next I'm going to add some concealer and blend that out as well. Powdering off my face to set it all down. Putting down some eyeshadow. I'm doing a little bit of blue. I did a bit of brown first, but you couldn't really tell. The blue that I was using wasn't really giving me the payoff that I was after, so I had to build it up a bit, and I went in with a few different other colours. On some of the peach pigment that I have in my stash, just to break up the blue a little bit, just to make it a little bit nicer. I'm placing some green metallic eyeshadow just in the center there, just to tie in a bit of green into it. So I went back in with a blue shadow that I've got, but I went in with a wet brush just to give it a little bit more of a punch. Went back in with that peach shade with a wet brush as well. Here I'm just packing some of the blue and the green down the bottom of my eyelashes, underneath my eyelashes. And then just blending it out with that first brown that I put into my crease. I'm just bronzing up the sides of my face, which really didn't do anything because that part of my face gets covered up anyway by some special effects later on in the video. Here I'm using fishnet stockings just to replicate, I guess, the scale kind of look that mermaids tend to have. I would have used smaller fishnets, but I couldn't find my smaller ones. They're the only ones that I could find, unfortunately, but it still gave an alright effect. And here I'm just filling in my eyebrows with a metallic green. Applying some liquid latex to the side of my face there because I'm sticking some glitter down, you know. When I think of mermaids, I think of glitter. Here I'm actually sticking real pearl to my face. I got this from a crystal store up on the Sunshine Coast. It's really pretty. And here are some shells that I'm sticking, and now I'm sticking to my face my gelatin prosthetic that I made yesterday. It's meant to look like scales. Just holding that on with liquid latex and covering around the sides with liquid latex and some cotton buds, just to kind of blend it in. I'm just adding another patch of my gelatin prosthetic that I did yesterday, some more scales. Here I'm just adding some scar wax to the edges around that particular scale section. Just blending down some liquid latex to the bottom of my face and around my chin, just to give myself some texture there with some cotton rounds as well. Here I'm just blending blending some latex around the sides of that scar wax and putting down some cotton buds just to make it kind of blend a little bit more into my skin. To add some more foundation over those cotton rounds just to kind of blend it in so it's not stark white. I gave up with the beauty sponge and now I'm just dabbing it on with a makeup brush. Here I'm going in with a bruise wheel just to give my other side a little bit of a, I guess you could say, dead slash moldy kind of look, because this mermaid look that I'm going for is kind of, you know, she's a little bit dead, she's starting to revert back into a fish. That's where all the scales are popping out of her skin. She's almost going to shed her skin as a snake would or something like that. So this is her process of changing. Adding some black into the underneath of that scar there, just to give it a little bit of depth and shadowing. Here I'm adding some of that green that I put in my eyebrows onto the scales just to make them look really pretty, really metallic, and as you could have told, I took inspiration from The Little Mermaid, and Ariel's tail is green, so I thought I would do green scales, and I had a red wig, so that's kind of where my inspo came from. The Little Mermaid is one of my favourite movies as well. I'm just adding a little bit of iridescent shimmer to my face because mermaids, you know, they glisten. When they're wet, they're nice and glittery and sparkly and shiny and pretty. So I thought I would just add a little bit of shimmer to parts of my body and, you know, my nose and my cupid's bow and my cheeks. Here I'm just adding some glitter around the edges of that breakthrough scale section. And then of course just got to add glitter wherever, over the scales, over the chin. Decided to contour a little bit with a dark blue shadow that I had there, just to give that cheek a little bit of depth and dimension. Just a little something something. And that jawline, gotta get that jawline. And of course, pop of mascara. We need some eyelashes. Here's my favourite bit. When I do makeup looks, I usually go right into like zombie and gore because that's my favourite thing to do. So of course, when I was doing this, I had to put blood in it. So I'm just adding some blood into the bottom of that because that's where the scales have broken through her skin. Just adding it onto the one at the neck and then the one on the chest as well. Here I'm just spraying a little bit of the black hairspray that I've got there just to grunge it up a little bit. And this is my final look, guys. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you liked it. I had a lot of fun. It took me almost 3 hours to do, so a lot of editing has gone into this. But it was definitely a lot of fun.